if this sounds familiar. Your nightstand is stacked with self-help books, your podcast query is full of inspiring advice, and your Pinterest boards overflowing with vision boards and morning routines you never quite stick to. But despite all of that effort, nothing actually changes, and that doesn't mean you're lazy, and it definitely doesn't mean you're broken. You're just stuck in what I call a personal growth spin cycle. And if you're a woman in midlife, you've probably been told to hustle harder, journal more, or manifest faster. But let me tell you something radical. You don't need more content. You need a system that actually works for this chapter of your life. And today, I'm going to give that to you. Don't find yourself on the self-help hamster wheel. You know, over the years, I was the queen of self-improvement. I had the gratitude journals. I had the vision boards that were filled with magazine cutouts. I did it all. I had the nightstand that was running over with books and magazines that I frankly never picked up. I was stuck. There was too much information. I couldn't sift through it all. My friend and I, we were hopeless for each other because we were in this crazy loop where she or I would tell her about the next cool thing, and we'd go run out and buy the book and we'd talk about it, and then we'd try it on a Monday, and by Wednesday we were completely done because it was just too much to take on all at once. What we weren't doing is taking bite-sized pieces at a time. We were just implementing this whole big new process, which wasn't working for either of us. We equated it to like intellectual snacking. We weren't really getting a full meal, but we were getting a little bit from here and a little bit from there, and it looked good, and our nightstand was evidence that, hey, we're really trying, but it didn't work. It didn't work for us, and it probably isn't working for you. You know, this entire hustle and grind culture, it's toxic. It's not good for us. It's not good for our bodies. It's not good for our families. And frankly, it's not good for our children to see us like this. What is healthy is taking a snippet of something we learn and implementing that and using that to grow and to build. Part of this process is making your mind stop a minute and focusing on one thing. The system of real momentum. I created a system of real momentum that really helped me. I want to share this process with you. I hope that the steps I put together will help you out and get you past that hurdle to really make real momentum in a midlife reinvention. Step 1, you just have to define your fabulous. Listen, I know this sounds corny and quirky at this time in your life, but really, I challenge you to sit down with a notebook and create your own mission and vision statement for you. Not for your kids, not for your mother, for you and you only. What is gonna make you happy? Find that happiness inside. It's a simple step to really focusing and on what you want, and all of it can be changed. This isn't put in stone. Part of life is trying, and then if that doesn't work, you try something else. Just pivot a little bit. So find out what makes your soul sing. Create a list of all the stuff that you want to do. Do you want to take art classes? Do you want to spend more time with your friends? Do you want to lose 5 pounds? Make this list, write it down. Something about writing it down really locks it in for you. Let's move on to step 2. Step 2, I want you to pick just one thing out of that list. Pick one of these things that you can focus on for the next 90 days. Whatever it is. It could be your health. It could be your friends. It could be finishing a book. Just a small win. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. Believe me, you can't do everything at once. Step 3, we're gonna set a real intangible goal. Come on, you've done this before. With your one thing that you wanna do in the next 90 days, let's set a real goal for that. Do you wanna run a 5K in 90 days? Do you wanna read a book a month for 90 days? And if so, how many pages do you need to get through in that month per day? You need to really focus and hone down on exactly what your accomplishment should be. So what is your goal for your one thing that you want to do? You're gonna build these blocks to gain whatever it is you want at the end of that 90 days. Step 4 is choose those signature moves that are just for you. For example, you saw some influencer's page and she said, here's these 20 steps you should do every single morning. No, that's not gonna work. What you need to figure out is really what is feasible for you to be able to do. So maybe out of those 20 steps, maybe it's you do the first 2 and you do those for a couple weeks. And then you build on that. Okay, I did the first 2, so now let's do 2 more. Until you get to all those 20. And you probably get through all those 20 and go, that doesn't work for me either. I am going to rewrite this to make this fit my life, and here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of these 20, I'm gonna do this 5. Here's a fun rule. For everything that you learn, say every hour that you learn, spend 2 hours actually doing it. If you're really feeling a spark from what I'm saying, please do me a favor and hit subscribe. Let YouTube know that you want to see more of this content of midlife, reinvention, transformation. Now, the next half of the video talks about the rest of the steps that really lock it in for you, so you don't want to miss it. So step 5 is create your commitment calendar. Sometimes our motivation takes a little vacation. If you actually put on your calendar exactly when you want to do this new step, make a commitment to yourself. Make it sacred. Nobody could take it away. If you have to turn off your phone, if you have to lock that door, do it for you and for your mental health. Is it every weekend you're gonna have brunch with your friends? What is your commitment to yourself? Right now, talk about that day and time and put it in your calendar right now. Step 6, we are gonna review and refine. Life is a living experiment. We never know what's gonna happen, and we can always pivot. And you are like a researcher for your own life. We want to refine our goals so that they're not just completely thrown away. I can't do that. I can't do 5 a.m., so I'm not going to do it. No. How can you refine it to make it fit your life? This isn't about being perfect. This is about looking at your life and putting incremental, positive things in it that you've learned and want to continue to grow and flourish. And don't forget to celebrate those small wins. After that week, you need to really pat yourself on the back for that. That's a big deal. After a month, yes, maybe invite your girlfriend over. You go and have dinner with her. After 90 days, you should throw yourself a party. You have to continually celebrate you. You have to be your own advocate. Step 7, replenish and reach out. This is the most important step that so many people don't do. You've gotta refill your soul. What is it you internally need? Is it just to take a hot bath and have some nice music and a candle and a hot tea? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's you by yourself just reading a book. You know what you like. You know what you need to fill yourself back up. What is it that you need? And always reach out. Find a friend who can be an accountability partner. Go speak to a counselor. Have a coach. You need to have somebody to reach out to throw ideas at, and that person giving you feedback. Okay, I've given you this great new system for you to try. And how do you make sure that you stick with it with these gazillion things that you have in your calendar right now? What are you going to do? And my first response is just go deep and not wide. So take one thing, one podcast, one book, one exercise routine, and do it consistently for that 90 days. Make a commitment to yourself. Number 2, apply before you buy, meaning before you get another self-help book, before you try another podcast, before you try another exercise routine, try this one and commit to at least a couple weeks before you refine and switch off and do something different. And finally, tailor it to you. You know, just because they say you have to do X, Y, and Z, they're not the architect of your life. You don't have to do that. You choose what works for you in your life at this moment and time. So here's the truth, friend. Feeling stuck isn't a failure. It's a signal that you're ready not to hustle harder or chase someone else's version of success, but to live truer. You don't need to blow up your life. You don't need another course, another challenge, or another checklist. What you need is a rhythm that feels like home for you, a way to rebuild your confidence, your energy, and your joy, especially doing it on your terms. That's what reinvention in midlife really is. Not becoming someone else, but finally becoming fully you, without apology, without burnout, and without delay. So what are you ready to rekindle, reinvent, or release? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to cheer you on. And if you want a weekly dose of clarity, courage, and midlife magic, subscribe to the channel and sign up for the 1-Minute Midlife Magic newsletter. It's short, it's soulful, and it's always served with a wink and a little fire. Because reinvention isn't a one-time pivot, it's a lifestyle, and it starts for you right now.